Today, Helluva Boss released onto Amazon Prime Video, and with its release was a brand new episode called Mission Zero. Well, it's not new as most people would expect. It is actually a remake of the pilot. Due to this remake is only 13 minutes long compared to the usual 25 to 30 minutes. I will talk about everything that happened in this episode, before going over what is similar about this episode and what is different compared to the pilot. I will then go over any details and little Easter eggs that I noticed. Next, I will go over what I liked about this episode before talking about what I didn't like and or what could be improved on moving forward. Finally, I will go over my overall thoughts of the episode. If you enjoy this sort of content and you'd like to see more from me, please be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out and it allows me to keep making content. Now, let's get started. The episode starts off with a shot of some criminals in the street committing various crimes, pushing in your face that they are bad people and they deserve whatever is coming to them. Meanwhile, in the background, we can see three shadowed imps on top of a building. We can see a piece of graffiti on the wall of demons with pitchforks killing someone in the background. We then get a slide transition of the IMP office whiteboard, where Blitz explains to the audience directly that there is a hierarchy in hell, and while imps are at the bottom, it doesn't stop them from striving to be something more. Cutting back to the overworld, we see the three main imps with menacing smiles and yellow soulless eyes. They jump across rooftops and finally jump down where Blitz informs his victims that he is an assassin, before he shoots them with his iconic pistol. We then cut to the office where we find out that this scene is just in Blitz's head and he is pitching on how they should approach the target. Millie liked that Blitz had his own catchphrase and wants to use "It's Millin time" as her own one. That went as well as you would expect with Blitz. Moxie questions the professionalism of the idea and even points out how the word professional is in IMP's name. He then puts on a brief part of the jingle that we heard almost 6 years ago before Blitz pushes the TV out of the way. Millie then raises the question of how they're going to the overworld at all. Blitz then quickly answers this question by putting the grimoire onto the table. Millie and Moxie are both surprised that Blitz even has this. Luna then enters the room in which Blitz accuses Moxie of being the reason that Luna swears all the time. Moxie makes a valid counter-argument saying that half of Blitz's vocabulary is the word fuck. Millie and Moxie then have their interaction where they act like rabbits, if you know you know, and Luna mentions to Blitz that someone is on the phone who wants to speak to him called Stolas. Blitz proceeds to sweat bullets and denies even knowing him in the first place, but he eventually answers the phone. We then see a menacing Stolas sat on a chair in his bedroom. He starts saying how Blitz took something from him, putting on a threatening tone, before suddenly switching to the horny demon that we've seen for 2 seasons straight. Even Blitz is surprised by the switch up and tries to play along. And of course it wouldn't be a Helluva Boss pilot without the 3 pages of pure smut coming from Stolas that all get censored anyway. Blitz and Luna both feel deeply disturbed by this monologue and Blitz destroys his phone immediately. Blitz then goes back to the office and keeps trying to come up with ideas with everyone else. Millie has the idea of just killing everyone in sight, which can work, but is also just a snowball effect waiting to happen. After peer pressuring Moxie into assassinating children, Luna tells Blitz that he has a guest in his office. And of course it's fucking Stolas. Literally. We then get a flashback to when he first slept with Stolas, and it's a perfect recreation of the pilot version, even down to using the same fucking voice line that they recorded 6 years ago for this part. After this, Blitz convinces Stolas to let him keep the grimoire, and Stolas uses that as an excuse to see him more often. Blitz tells everyone that he needs to come up with something quick. Moxie has an idea, but no one cares about that, so Luna mentions that they could just wing it. Blitz loves the idea and he opens up the portal. They all jump through and we see a final cinematic montage of the new and improved jingle in the background, before cutting to the credits. So, what similarities did I see in this episode? Well, The Office looks very similar with the upgrade of the animation style. We get the throwback of the jingle on the TV, which is a one-to-one of the pilots. Obviously, we get Stolas' censored speech, just like in the pilot. As I mentioned before, the recreation of the scene where Blitz runs off with the book, and that's pretty much all the similarities that I can think of. As for what was changed that I think was better, I think the plot of the episode was much better. Instead of the gang having mediocre workplace banter for 13 minutes, in the remake they actually have a hit that they are planning to carry out, and they are going around thinking of ideas on how to approach the target, while having jokes in the script that actually made me laugh a couple of times. What details did I notice? Well, first of all, there was the self-insertion of Vivian and Brandon that was teased on Twitter a couple of days ago. During this shot, we can see the torn drapes from Season 2, Episode 1 of Helluva. Vivian's character is also doing the iconic Family Guy death pose. And finally, we can see a poster of Blitz's old circus act on the wall, which can be seen in other episodes later on. Well, compared to the original pilot, the writing of the jokes and the plot was a lot better. The animation is obviously a lot more slick and smooth, which is to be expected. This shot here, showing a large portion of the villains, I don't know why Stolas is here, is really cool and I like the serious tone change in the animation style for this shot. The characters' movements are also just a lot more animated and smooth in general, giving them a lot more personality. Moving on to what I think could be improved, funnily enough, is also the animation. While it is miles better than the pilot, that's because it had 6 years to develop. But even now, with a brand new episode premiering on Amazon Prime Video, we are seeing animation mistakes like forgetting to put Moxie's hand back to 100 100% opacity. This has always happened in the show, but to see this kind of sloppiness happen on the first Amazon Prime Video episode is pretty poor. Furthermore, I am fully aware that this is Stolas' whole character, but I don't think he had to be nothing but a sex object for the entire episode. Obviously, it is tradition to do his censored speech, but every appearance he had in this episode was just sex joke, you may laugh now. Overall, I think that Mission Zero is a drastic improvement to the pilot episode in terms of writing and animation. However, when you compare it to those same episodes in Season 2, it falls flat in those same departments. I do like that they teased characters in single frame shots or in the background, specifically for new viewers of the show, so they have something to look forward to when they watch the show for real. If I were to put this episode on a tier list going from S to F, I think I'd put it in B. It's certainly not the best, but it's a huge improvement to its counterpart. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. If you like this video and you'd like to see more content from me, please be sure to like the video and sub to the channel. That's all from me, see ya.